Hi, I'm Brandon, and I'm back to do a commentary on Walter Babst. Let's do it. So it looks like we got Dell there. Usually they have, in the later ones, they had the decoy would come out to lure the guys in, but I guess here they just used Dell because she was the closest thing they had. But I think if any of the predators got a close look at her, they might be a little disappointed.
Walter Babst did not stick out of a crowd.
I was watching it for like 10 minutes.
I wonder if she's skipping there because she's trying to imitate what she thinks a 13-year-old girl would act like, or is she just skipping because she's excited at the prospect of arresting this guy?
Walter Babst did not stick out of a crowd.
I was watching it for like 10 minutes.
And he walks in with...
I mean, she is saying whatever, I was watching you for like 10 minutes. I think she's trying to act like a kid or something, but maybe acting is not in her future.
Pressed jeans. He's the kind of guy you'd see standing in line at the...
Yeah, and of course people have drawn the similarities between him and Walter White, which I can kind of see. They share a name and the mustache and stuff, but at least Walter White has some redeeming qualities, whereas Walter Babst seemingly does not.
Dry cleaners at the grocery store. Never stick out of a crowd. Clean-cut guy. But here we are.
It's funny how so many... I wonder if it's like... It's probably partly because of the nature of what they're there to do, but it's also just the strangeness of having a red curtain hanging in the doorway. Like, it'd be weird to go into someone's house, even if you were there for good reasons and had been invited, to just, burst through the curtains and throw them open like you're stepping out on a stage. It just seems like natural. I'd like pull them aside and look in, just because it's so weird to have a curtain hanging there. But it seems like all the predators, they just look so shady, like he does here, just pulling the curtains aside and like he's standing outside but poking his head in and looking around. Like, it just makes you look so suspicious.
Clean-cut guy. But here we are on a Saturday morning, and we know that this guy is a teacher.
Okay. Yeah, and of course, like, there's been other teachers on here too, like James Rutherford. It just makes it that much worse when they work with children. Like, if you were, just some kind of oil rig worker or something, obviously, like, if you're trying to do this, it's still bad, but you don't work with children in your day-to-day life, so the odds that you've victimized other people are smaller. Doesn't mean you couldn't have done it, but it wouldn't be as likely. Whereas when your job is you spend 40 hours a week around children of that age, all of a sudden that sets off far more alarm bells. I actually I'm sure everyone has a story like that, but when I was in high school, we had this one teacher, and he was actually he was probably one of the most popular teachers. He's the one that everyone liked. He was just he was a cool guy. He would play rock music in class, so we could listen to music while we're working, and he was just very popular. And then I was in college, and all of a sudden people I went to school with were like, "Oh my God, did you hear what happened to this teacher?" And apparently, he did something with a 17-year-old girl. They were on some sort of field trip or something, and something happened. And then there's a couple other incidences that happened with her, and the cops came in and arrested him in front of the class. And I don't know what happened. I never followed it. It wasn't in the news, so I don't know what the eventual outcome is of it. But he eventually moved away, and but it's a terrible thing, and it kind of makes you wonder, did they become a teacher just with the intention of doing that, or did they become a teacher with some kind of noble reasons, but just being around the kids all that time, they just eventually did that? Because a normal person wouldn't ever do that, so there had to be some sort of predilection, something inside them that made them want to do that. So it's kind of the same thing with priests, right? It's you just kind of wonder, are they there just for the opportunity to have a lot of victims? It's just a very disgusting thing, because teachers are people you trust, right? Not only are they around your kids all day long, when you're not there, so you have to trust them a little bit, but they're supposed to be educating them. They're supposed to be setting an example and raising the new generation to go into the future, and not just using them as sexual victims. It's disgusting.
He's a teacher.
Okay.
We know how old he is. We know he's married. We know he has kids. Hey, how are you?
Good. And like he is, I don't know what. I think there's been some videos where like they interview kids from the school and they talk about him. Like I can't remember. I think I watched them, but I can't remember what they said. But so I don't know how this guy was respected. I don't know if the students kind of saw him as a creep, or if he was like a cool teacher, or they were indifferent to him. I don't know what he was like there. But something about him, it could also be like seeing him after knowing what he did. You kind of, are judging him after the fact. But he does look kind of nerdy. It's kind of like, I don't know, he just looks like the kind of guy that would do this. But maybe I'm being unfair.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good.
Why don't you have a seat right over there, please? And right away.
I'm under arrest?
Yeah, so he, he shakes his hand too. Am I under arrest? Shakes his hand. So yeah, he instantly knows what's up. So he must have been so paranoid. And obviously, like if he's a teacher, he must have some sort of reasonable intelligence. So he knew going in that there was a chance this was a sting. But it's also kind of strange that a lot of the guys assume that Chris would be the kid's father, since he's not dressed as a police officer. A lot of the predators would assume that Chris is the father because he's not dressed as a police officer and he's a grown man in the house. Like it would make sense that he owns the house. But Walter Babst doesn't think that. Some of the predators are even like they're unsure who they are, like who Chris is, and they repeatedly ask, like, "Who are you?" Walter just immediately assumes that Chris is the police. He's under arrest. So obviously he knew very well what he was doing was disgusting and illegal, because that's exactly where his mind went. Like if he was there to not do anything wrong, like why would he assume that some random stranger is a police officer?
No, I want to talk to you. Go ahead, have a seat.
I knew it. Go ahead and bust me.
You knew what? No, just sit tight. And what are you doing here?
And even that, like you just see like the look on his face, like I don't know, it's like disappointment or something, or like he's just like disgusted with himself. Look at his face.
I'm talking. Go ahead, have a seat.
I knew it. Go ahead and bust me.
You knew what? No, just sit tight. And what are you?
Like he's just kind of like, oh my god, like you can tell what's going through his mind. He's like, why did I do it? Like I knew it. But it's like, yeah, if you knew it, why would you do it? But it's like their compulsion is just so strong that like ruining their entire career, their entire life, probably their marriage, going to prison, being labeled a sex offender, being exposed to the entire world, like even that is not enough to make them think like, man, this is not worth it. Like they still go through with it knowing the very high likelihood that this thing would happen, and now he's just kind of, you could see the regret that he's just like, he was willing to take that chance and it backfired. And but the thing is, yeah, that doesn't, having regret like you saw with James Rutherford, and doesn't absolve you, because if Chris wasn't there, he would have happily gone through with his plan. So it's like, fuck him.
What are you doing here?
Getting my ass kicked.
Getting your ass kicked.
Yeah. I knew it. I knew it was a setup.
No, I need you to...
Yeah, that almost looked aggressive there. You could see why Chris would be a little bit taken aback when the guy just suddenly gets up and kind of takes a step towards you.
It was a setup.
No, I need you to sit down, please.
I need you to just arrest me and take me to jail and execute.
I need to talk to you.
And he's like, he is a little bit childish. Like, he's kind of just giving like smart-ass answers. Like, what are you doing here? Getting my ass kicked. I need you to just take me to jail and execute me. Like, clearly he knows they don't execute people for this crime, especially like without some sort of trial. Like, it's just, things don't work that way. But he's almost just like overreacting. I don't know if it's just like a natural thing he's doing, or maybe in his mind he's like, if I act like this is so horrible and I should be executed, he's probably hoping Chris will say, now, don't worry, it's not that bad, and kind of pacify him in some way. But it's like he is kind of childish in what he's saying.
To you first.
And you know what? I didn't bring anything. I didn't want to do anything.
What does that mean? I didn't bring anything? Like, all the stuff that you need to commit this crime is attached to your body. So it's not like, hey, I didn't bring drugs or alcohol, so obviously I had pure intentions with this young girl. Like, no, you don't need to bring anything. And I didn't want to do anything. Like, his chat log was very, very gross. I haven't read it in a while, but I remember like it was very, very graphic, and he described in explicit detail what he wanted to do. So what does that mean? I didn't bring anything. I didn't want to do anything. Who cares? Like, you are here. Like, you, the person, are here. That's the only thing that matters.
I didn't want to do anything. Whatever.
Well, why did you come?
Yeah, just whatever. He's like, yeah, just another childish thing he's saying.
Well, why did you come here, though? Help me to understand.
Because I'm a sick son of a bitch.
Well, this guy is good at giving this like non-stop one-liners. Like he might be up there in like top 5 guys that just gives a whole bunch of famous lines. But yeah, because I'm a sick son of a bitch. So like he knows what he is. But it's so strange that like if he's aware of this, he knows he has this problem, he knows he's a sick son of a bitch. It's obviously affecting his life. Like for it to culminate like in what he's doing here, he's probably been trolling online and watching all sorts of sick stuff on the internet for a long time. He knows this is a problem, yet every day he goes to school to teach the kids, and like wouldn't a normal person be like, okay, like I have to get out of this situation, like I gotta resign and get a different job and then just tell everyone that I didn't like teaching anymore and wanted to change careers. But he just like kept teaching in this job that he knew he was a threat to the children in, even though he knows he's a sick son of a bitch. And I know obviously it's it's a career and he wants the money, he needs the paycheck to live, so it's not so easy as just abruptly quitting. But it's like he knows well aware of what he is, and it just kind of makes me angry that he was just teaching school. No, like even James Rutherford, like I don't think he really knew the extent of how, even though he was depraved and disgusting, but I don't think he realized how much of a problem it was. Whereas Walter Babst, from what he just said, I'm a sick son of a bitch, he clearly knew it was a problem. So he was up there teaching the kids, spending time alone with them, knowing that he's a sick son of a bitch. It's like, yeah, it makes your skin crawl.
I've never done it before. I talk about it online all the time.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He talks about it online all the time. Meaning that he's always trying to talk to young girls and have explicit conversations with them. It's like, that's bad. That's not just fantasies online. It's like, if you're just thinking it in your head, I mean, that's pretty gross, but it's not illegal. But he's actually talking to presumably real kids out there. Like, I wonder, is he talking to, like, is he looking up girls that he knows from his class and then, like, anonymously saying sick stuff to them? Like, I would not be surprised in the slightest if he was doing that.
Well, help me to understand. What? I mean, do you have a compulsion?
And it's weird. Like, Chris seems to be being very nice to him. He's talking in, like, a very soft, low voice. He's, like, sometimes he's downright aggressive with the guys. It seems like he'd be aggressive with Walter Babst, but he seems like he's handling with the kid gloves.
I mean, do you have a compulsion, an addiction to the internet?
Yeah. Yeah, you could just see, like, couldn't even get the words out. He's like, yep.
Yeah. Okay. I've never done anything with anybody except my wife. Ever.
And like that too, like it's almost scary just how intensely, like look at his eyes, like how much he said that with such intensity. And it's like, this in his own mind, does he really think that like helps him get away with it? Like it's like, maybe it's true, he's never cheated on his wife ever. But you're trying to have sex with like a teenage girl. It's like those things don't cancel each other out. It's not like, okay, you can do that as long as you don't cheat on your wife. Like, it's like that doesn't even begin to make sense. Like, it's like, who cares if he cheated on his wife? Like, that's morally wrong, but it's not illegal, and it's nowhere near as bad as what he's here to do. So like, he just thinks that like, I've never cheated on my wife. I've been faithful. Therefore, like, the world owes him doing something like this, or like he's not a bad guy because this one thing that he didn't do, he didn't cheat on his wife, therefore that means he's a good guy. So if he happens to do something like this, it's not as bad as it may appear because he is a solid, upstanding guy who doesn't cheat on his wife. Like, who cares? He may as well say like, I've never gotten a parking ticket. It's like, so? What does that have to do with whether or not you're here doing this?
Babst was very graphic in a conversation he thought he was having with a 12-year-old girl. And talk about,
yeah, like I remember his being one of the more graphic ones. Like, there are worse ones, but just a lot of Predators I've done commentaries on, like very few of them are as disgusting as Walter's here.
Oral sex, they talk about intercourse, they talk about all the things they were going to do together and how he would teach her. And he says, I just chat about it. I just talk about it online. It's fantasy. But it ceased to be fantasy when he walked into our house.
Yeah, and that's true, but then again, it ceases to be a fantasy when you're actually talking to a real person online. Like, in this case, it was a decoy, it was an actual adult, but his intention was that it was a young kid. But if he's been doing this a lot, like he said, some of those, or all of them, were probably real kids of this age, like 13, and I think this girl was like 12. So he's actually seeking them out and talking about all this stuff, which would be, that could traumatize a kid just right there. It's disturbing. Like, you don't want someone talking to your kids like that. Like, that's horrible. So it's not just a fantasy. Like, even over the internet, it's still a real human being on the other end that you could be affecting negatively. And of course, showing up for real is just like 10 steps worse. But like, it's not like this is the first day where he crossed a line. He crossed the line the first day he ever spoke to a kid like that.
Now, who were you here to see?
I don't even know. And you know what?
Is he serious? He doesn't even know? Like, is he talking to so many of these young people that he can't even keep track of them? It's just like, any of them willing to have him come over, he'll come over, and he can't even remember which one it is, as long as they're female and young? Or is, like, you just can't keep them straight? Like, that's very telling.
I'm going to ask you something. Minor arrest.
You're not right now, no. But I need to ask you some more questions first. Now, you were here... No. I want you to sit down, please.
I need to go. Can I go?
Yeah, he's, obviously he's just so anxious and scared that he can't even sit still.
I want to talk to you a little bit more first. Please just sit down. Would you like some water?
No, I'm about to puke.
Yeah, and he shows a lot of fear. Like, he shows even more fear than James Rutherford. Like, he knows what kind of trouble he's in. And he probably knows, like, if the police find his computer, he's probably got disgusting stuff on there. They could have his chat logs. Like, he knows the level. He knows how wrong what he's doing is, and he knows how much trouble he could be in, and he knows what he has to lose. So he's very scared.
You were talking to a girl named Beth.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Okay.
You know what? I don't.
What do you mean, I think so? I don't know. Like, it's like they were just objects to him. He, like, what her name was, he probably didn't even pay attention to her name. It's just the picture and the age. That's all it was. Like, it's like the name is like completely secondary to him.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Okay.
You know what? I don't know.
What did her profile say?
Her profile said I'm in trouble.
Her profile did not say she's in trouble. Her profile said that she was female and 12.
The profile said she was how old?
She said 12 or 13.
12 or 13. So you know you were coming...
Whenever a predator like this, whenever they give, like, the age range, like, they can't remember exactly, so they give, like, multiple ages, it's pretty much always the youngest one. They're just trying to, like he thinks that, like, well, I'll say 12 or 13, because 13 maybe is a little less gross than 12. It's like, why? Like, there's no difference, Walter, you idiot.
Coming here for a 12 or 13-year-old girl.
I'm totally screwed. I know that. But it's...
Oh, he's looks like the gears are turning in his head, and he's trying to come up with a defense.
Forget it.
Do you have kids?
Forget it. He tried to come up with a defense, and then his brain is like, there's no defense for what you did, so he's like, forget it.
I'm totally screwed. I know that. But it's... Forget it.
Do you have kids?
Yeah, I do.
Well, how would you feel?
And I think I brought this up before, that it's almost like the dumber predators try to defend themselves more than the smart ones. Like the JPWs that just come up with the most implausible stories, but and no one would ever believe it. But at least they're trying to weasel their way out of it. Where it's like the smarter guys like this, they know that no one's going to believe a stupid story, and there is no defense. Like, they're totally caught. So it's like his brain won't even give him an excuse. You could tell he was trying to come up with something there to kind of mitigate or justify what he's doing, but he couldn't even think of something. And he's like a smarter guy. It's like they're smart enough to know that there is no excuse.
Feel if some guy in his 40s walked into your house trying to hook up with your kids?
I feel pissed.
What do you do for a living?
I'm in education.
You're an
And it's funny how he, instead of saying I'm a teacher, he says I'm in education. Kind of like maybe Chris won't follow up and ask exactly what he does. Like it's like no, he's a teacher. He works directly with the kids, but he's trying to like use softer language there to kind of make it look like maybe it's not as bad.
I'm in education.
You're in education. A teacher.
Mm-hmm.
What grade do you teach?
High school.
High school.
Yeah, he said that with a lot of intensity. Like high school. Yeah, nothing perverted. It's, nothing gross if I, sexually abuse them. It's like high school kids are still like 14 to 17 or 15, that kind of age range. That's still bad. Like what does he think? Like he just thinks like, well, high school, that's so old. I'd never be interested in them. Like why was he so adamant that he teaches high school?
Yes.
We see men from all walks of life, but when a teacher comes in, it's especially disturbing because obviously this guy has access to children. You got to wonder what's going on at school or after school. Please, just sit down.
I won't go anywhere. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to go to jail.
But I need you just to stay by the bench there, please.
Yeah, he just feels the need to pace around. He just can't sit still. Look at those footprints there. Are those just little mats to wipe your feet in? Those are kind of kind of ridiculous.
What are you wearing at the moment? My boxers and tank top I sleep in.
Please don't read it. I know what it says.
Yeah, it's these guys, they say it all and now they're disgusted by it. And again, you wouldn't want things from your sexual relationship with an adult. You wouldn't want someone repeating publicly everything you said because it was a private moment. But when you're doing something like this, you're saying this over the internet to a child. It's you deserve to be exposed and have it read back to you. And it's if he thinks it's disgusting now and he's embarrassed by it, it's well, he sure wasn't embarrassed while he was saying it all.
And then he sent this, John. Is that appropriate in any way?
Oh yeah, you sent and that too. He's trying to say it was all just fantasy online, but you were sending actual pictures of your dick to a 12-year-old. That's not just fantasy. That's it's. I'm pretty sure it's illegal in California. If not, it absolutely should be. It's wrong on every level.
That's against the law right there.
Is it?
To transmit
Is it? What are you stupid?
that to somebody who you think is underage? Yes, it is.
Transmit it though.
I like how he's looking at it and he's turning it in his hand, kind of like he's having a hard time understanding what he's looking at.
That to somebody who you think is underage? Yes, it is.
Transmit it though. No, I didn't transmit that to her. Yeah.
How else would she get it? How else would some complete stranger get a picture of your dick unless you sent it to them? That would just be the biggest coincidence in the world. That's not even possible. Obviously, he sent it. There's no other way for her to get it.
Yes.
Do you see my pic in the chat window? Yeah.
Yep.
Think you would like that in you?
Yeah. So yeah, not only he's claiming he didn't send it, when it's well, she had it. How else would Dateline here have that picture? And he also described the picture to her in the chat. So obviously he sent it.
How big is it? Well, you saw. Go get a can of Coke.
He just crosses his arms and looks up in the air in defiance, kind of like he's just probably one of his students getting in trouble.
That in you? How big is it? Well, you saw. Go get a can of Coke. Dang, will it hurt a little?
There must have been some sort of cut there because he was sitting down and then all of a sudden he's standing up pacing.
How big is it? Well, you saw. Go get a can of Coke. How big is it? Think you would like that in you? How big is it? Well, you saw. Go get a can of Coke. Dang, will it hurt a little? Yes, at first. Now, what conclusion am I supposed to draw here, John?
His name isn't John, it's Walter Babst. Oh, I think he was calling himself John in the chat.
Can't say anything. I'm done. I'll cry.
Well,
Please arrest me.
Pretty much from the get-go, Babst seems to realize that 12 different things can result from his showing up and none of them are good. There's one thing you got to know first. But when I tell him that I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC and we're doing a story on computer predators. Now, if there's any...
Yeah, so he was willing to be arrested. He's just arrest me, take me to jail. It's that he was willing to come to terms with, but seeing a video camera come out and knowing that you're going to be exposed to everyone, it's that's just way worse.
Anything else you'd like to say? He knows that this is even worse than getting arrested. He knows that this is
You've been on camera the whole time there, Walter, so there's no point in hiding your face now.
Going to be on television. He's starting to figure out that this is going to impact his career as a teacher. And he's starting to figure out that this is not going to go over well at all at home.
I've always wondered why the police use the zip ties sometimes instead of handcuffs. Is it just because, especially when they have like 50 guys coming through here, maybe they don't have enough officers with handcuffs, so it's easier just to buy the zip ties in bulk?
Therefore, to hire an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. Do you understand his rights?
I bet you, there was probably an insane amount of gossip going around that school once word of this hit. All the kids would be like, "Oh my God, you hear what happened to Mr. Babst?" And they'd probably all be, comparing stories, and then all the parents would want to be talking to their kids to make sure that he didn't do anything to them. And it's I don't think the police are going to be going to the school to talk to the kids, and they probably had to, some of them go to see the counselor. It was probably, huge news, probably the biggest news ever happened at that school.
We had people from all walks of life, including...
Well, that's it for Walter Babst. Yeah, he's a very disgusting guy. Although apparently, I guess, I don't want to say in his defense, but I read or saw somewhere that he's working for some aviation company now or something, and he has a good job, and apparently hasn't offended. Well, why don't we just actually take a look here and see what happened to him afterwards. It says, Babst returned to the classroom 2 days after bailing out of jail and taught for several more days. He must have been very, very worried. He was probably like Walter White in one of the Breaking Bad episodes where he's sitting in class and he just has his head on his desk or something, and the students eventually have to go get someone because something's clearly wrong with him. Yeah, I bet you he wasn't teaching up to his full potential. During this time, a female student claimed that Babst would sit on his desk and put his head down. I didn't even read that before I said that. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. His arrest had not been made known to the school. Kind of makes you wonder, maybe the creators of Breaking Bad watched this and then kind of started the Breaking Bad story based on him. The school was made aware of Babst's arrest by the police and his attorney. Later, he was suspended without pay. Following his arrest, Walter's female students were questioned by Dateline NBC, and some of them provided speculative stories of what he was purportedly doing in the classroom, such as looking down their shirts and at their backsides. Yeah, so probably he was doing kind of creepy stuff like that the girls picked up on, but it was never enough to get him fired. And it was a case of their word against his, and it's so obviously nothing happened, but they were probably talking about, the girls were probably talking about all the stuff that the creep did. According to school officials, Babst had not received any complaints before arrest. He later retired from his position in February of 2006. Babst began working again as a manager for a transportation company. At the same time, his case was still pending in 2007. Police later discovered over 200 obscene photographs and videos of children on his computers. Oh yeah, that's even more unforgivable than what he did here. On February 2nd, 2007, Babst pleaded guilty to one felony count of attempted lewd or lascivious acts with a child under 14 years of age, and one felony count of possession of obscene matter depicting a minor in sexual conduct. In May 2007, Babst was sentenced to 1 year in jail. That's it? 1 year? 5 years extended probation, lifetime registration as a sex offender, had to pay fees and fines, take counseling at his own expense, and he could not possess any weapons, and was ordered not to be around children unsupervised and not to take any jobs which involved children. Yeah, in my opinion, the fact that he tried to do this, he was very disgusting. He was a teacher, and he had obscene material of children on his computer. He deserved a much harsher sentence than 1 year in jail, because he probably didn't even have to serve all of that, and only 5 years of probation. And all this stuff like sex offender registration and taking counseling in order not to be around children. It's yeah, I guess that's better than nothing. But the thing is, a guy like this is not going to follow those orders. It's like ordering a criminal not to commit crimes. Well, obviously they're beyond that if they're willing to do this kind of thing. If they're willing to break the law and everyone's kind of moral code to this kind of degree. How could you trust them not to do it again? It's let's just tell them not to be around children. problem solved. Like, no, like they need to be forcibly kept away from children. And then it says, Babst later became an aerospace engineer, helping to design airplanes. This is one of the few instances in which a predator ended up with a better career than the one they were forced to leave after being featured on the show and arrested. He currently works 2 jobs, and he is still employed by the transportation company. Surprisingly, Babst's wife did not leave him after this sting. Presumably he still lives with her. And it says, 2024 update. In 2024, a student who had Walter Babst as a teacher hosted a Reddit Ask Me Anything. The former student described Babst as very arrogant and constantly thinking he was smarter than everyone. Babst taught math and science and worked for 2 different departments in the high school. Babst's arrogance extended to him randomly calling on people and expecting everyone to know the answers to his questions. Yeah, doesn't surprise me that he was arrogant, but it is interesting that he actually, this was kind of a positive impact on his life. And also, that must be hard to have, like, to be, like, the manager of a transportation company. That must be, a fairly difficult job. But he also works for, like a airplane company with, he's like an aerospace engineer. Like, that's also a hard job. So he has, like, 2 full-time hard jobs. Like, he must be making crazy money. He must be crazy busy. Maybe he's just wants to work all the time so he doesn't have to go home and talk with his wife, because she probably brings this up. And I don't know why. Like, I would, if my partner ever did something like this, like, it would be divorce on the spot. Like, maybe she just weighed her options, kind of like Maurice Wollen's wife. I can't remember if she, I don't know, I think she stayed with him because that's why he died, when they had a fight. But she probably just weighed her options. It's like, well, I could, divorce him, but, and take part, half his money or something, but he's probably going to have all these huge legal bills and be, like, she wouldn't get that much. Or she could just stick with him until it blows over, and then she has a good life because she has a husband with a good job. Like, is that kind of what's going through their mind? Like, I mean, she must have had a problem with it. Like, she must have yelled at him at the least. Like, I can't see her being like, whatever, it's not a big deal. I'm here by your side. Like, it must have caused problems in their relationship. Like, why would you ever? I have to think, like, most women would not stick with a guy that did this. Like, it'd have to be rare. At least I would hope so. But anyways, that's it for Walter Babst. Let me know if there's any other predators you want me to cover. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.